What are you doing in this government? So wait, let me finish now. Let me finish. Hold on. Just, what are you doing in this government? The same government that in an Arise interview in 2013, you described as president-select rather than president-elect, accusing INEC of manipulation and all of that. You are saying you were in court to say that it was a rigged process. Those were your words. You had casted many doubts on the veracity of this government. You had said a lot of things against this government. So the question is, people are asking, what are you doing in the same government at some point that you said, if they vote for APC, it will be like going to a night of 1,000 laughs? So
thank you for having me. First of all, I do not think by 2013 you were recruited here. As at 2013, I think sometime around 2013 was when Arise TV launched in London. And at the time, I'm not sure you were with Arise. So first premise, mentioning of 2013 is wrong. And I have been appearing on Arise TV right from UK, even before the Nigerian Arise TV station also was open. Charles Anyagolu will confirm, Andrew will confirm. So that one is one. The second one
2023. It's 2023 you said these things, Bwala.
No, you just said 2013.
It could be a slip of tongue. It's 2023 you said
first admit that you were wrong, that you slip of tongue.
Bwala, I know your deflection tactics.
No,
you can't blame me at the game.
Did you or did you not say 2013?
Go straight ahead. Answer the questions.
I'm not writing jam here.
Answer the questions. Answer the questions,
Bwala. Did you say 2013 or did you not say 2013?
It could have been a slip of tongue.
Okay, then allow me to go ahead.
The truth is, go ahead. Don't deflect. Answer the question.
No, there's not. See,
no, it's a deflection tactics. Go ahead.
See, let me tell you what cannot happen here.
Yes, what cannot happen?
Is that you cannot control me or talk to me like a secondary school student.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
If you ask a question,
answer the question
and listen to the answer.
Yes.
So that's the first correction.
Yeah.
The second correction has to do with what you wanted to know about the activities in Villa. Ordinarily, I would have said it's none of your business, but I will help you. My office is 101 in the State House, Presidential Villa. I'm a special advisor to the president. Was initially announced as special advisor, media and public communication, redesigned to special advisor, policy communication, status special advisor, no demotion, the same. I have unfettered access with the president. Last week, we had a meeting. Let us throw that one off the corner. You said Sunday Dare and Bayo Ononuga corrected me. That's wrong. It's a press statement that was issued from the presidency. There was no specific individual that corrected.
Why did you call yourself presidential spokesman?
Let me finish. I'm still a presidential spokesman.
Okay.
Yeah. The statement that was issued said that instead of one, there are 3 presidential spokesmen.
Okay.
Let us throw these ones that are not relevant. The reason I'm here today is because I have never been afraid to appear on Arise TV. I have been a friend of this TV station, and like I said when I began, I appear on Arise in London and here. During your gossip section, you call it stories trending.
No. It's not gossip. Yeah. It's public opinion.
You call it, I have opinion, the same way you express your opinion, I'm expressing mine.
But it's not gossip.
The gentle lady here, Ayo, insinuated by what she said, let him come here, as if I am running away from coming to this station. It is for that singular reason. I tweeted, I said, that is innuendo. Fix a date and time, I'll be here, and I will come to the Lagos studio to answer your question.
Very good. True. So answer the second question I asked you.
What is the second question?
The same government you said all those things about.
Yes.
That Tinubu didn't win this, and all of that. That process were shambolic. You were speaking for Atiku.
Everything.
Yes. You admit you said those things against this government. Why are you still serving in the same government? The government you called a night of 1,000 laughs if they get elected. Why are you serving in? Are you part of the joke?
So if you ask the question, you wait for me to answer.
Go ahead, Bwala.
Good. I was in the opposition.
Yes.
In case you don't know, the role of the opposition is to oppose the government. In doing so, you de-emphasize the strength of the government and emphasize your strength. Where they have strength, you allow them to argue their matter. They rest their case on their strength and not on the weakness of the opposition. When I made a decision on the 10th of January, and after I visited the president, from that day till date, I speak well of the president and I support his activities. Now you ask, I spoke. Can I have water to drink, please?
Sure.
Yeah, please get him water.
You said I spoke against
said a lot of things. You delegitimized him. You said it was not a legitimate government. All the things you said. Do you still stand by them, or you had a change of heart?
They are irrelevant.
They are irrelevant. So the question is, you are not a man of convictions, because if you said those things out of your convictions, then so your convictions change.
So here, every day, wiki, and at the end of the day, you people sat and nominated him as the best minister. So you are not a station of conviction.
Anyway, it's not Arise that nominated you. It is this day that nominated him.
This day,
secondly, so you are saying you don't have convictions. That's what you're saying.
You don't have conviction, wiki, and then you came together and
Mr. Bwala.
Okay.
Mr. Bwala, thank you for honoring our invitation. Like you posted on your X that we should give a date and time and you'll be here, and you honor that you're here. So let's examine some of the things that you said, right? Yeah. And I say this because beyond conviction,
Welcome to my channel, where we discuss everything and all things politics, economy, and development in Nigeria and around the world. What you just listened to was the biggest confrontation in television history in Nigeria, where Arise Television's Rufai Oseni literally took down Daniel Bwala for his double-speak and for his playing the politics without principle, without integrity, a politics of anywhere benefits. That's literally what he played. And Rufai Oseni called him out. It was one of the most interesting confrontation you can get on television. Telling truth to power. Thank God there was no Ruben Abati to unnecessarily interfere in the confrontation. And Daniel Bwala was humiliated, literally, and in every sense of the word. Because if you watch the original video, you see that he was just staring at the table. He didn't even have the courage of his own conviction to look at Oseni on the face, on his eyes, because he was reminded of what he used to say about Bola Ahmed Tinubu, or what he used to say about the APC. Yet, he has to go back to his vomit. And all he could think about is to say that when you are in the opposition, you oppose. Now when you are in government, you serve the interest of the government. Who does that? You must operate in politics with a sense of purpose, a sense of integrity, a sense of principles. That's why you could see even the founding fathers of this nation. They were not jumping from one political party to the other. Awo stayed on his lane, Zeke stayed on his lane, Ahmadu Bello stayed on his lane. When they were in politics, when they were alive. Even the United States. Because Donald Trump has won doesn't mean that everybody who is the Democratic Party will now want to join the Republican Party just to belong, just to be praising Trump, and then you jump to that side. You must play it with principle. He was somebody who was well aware of all the handicaps of Tinubu administration, or of Tinubu himself. He knew about the certificate scandals. He knew about the return of $460,000 process of narcotic to the United States government. He is aware of the certificate scandal in Chicago. He's aware of lack of primary and secondary school certificates. He is aware of all these things. He was saying it, everything, the real fact about Bola Ahmed Tinubu, he was saying it. Yet, he went to serve in the same government. That was why Used was asking him, how do you go about serving this government? What kind of conscience do you have? And all he could say is that once he made up his mind to, after he visited the villa, he had been serving the government. And he came into the office of the spokesperson of the president with a big ego. Oseni was right. They deflected his ego even by Bayo Onanoga. Because Bayo Onanoga was the one that literally chased away Ajuri Ngelale from the government house. Forget about all this story that he has a relation who is sick. Is Ajuri Ngelale a doctor? Is he a health worker? That because he says he has a relation who has his challenge, that's why he resigned. No. There was supremacy battle at the presidency. And when Bwala came, he came with the mindset that he is the #1 spokesperson. If you watch his first introduction to the State House media, he said that I am here today as the spokesperson of the president. Then I asked him, what is his role? He said, well, my role is spelled out. The president told me what to do. The role I'm playing today, is the role of Ajuri Ngelale. Whatever Ajuri Ngelale was doing is what I have come to do. I'm the spokesperson. Before he was deflated by Bayo Onanoga. So his claim that he was not deflected is not true. That was why anytime right now, if you look at the media, anytime people are writing about Onanoga, is written as the spokesperson of the president or the spokesman of the president. When you want to write about Bwala, you write that Bwala is special assistant to the president on policy communication. You can't say he is the spokesperson. He should know that. He must have been reading the papers, see how the media differentiates between himself, Sunday Dare, and Bayo Onanoga. And Bayo Onanoga has gotten what he wanted. He is the numero uno, the #1. Whether Bwala want to admit it or not. And he ought to have admitted it, that yes, he is the #1, but he is still doubling down that they are all spokespersons. Who does that? Nobody puts all of them together like that. It's only Bayo Onanoga that the media has chosen rightly to as the spokesperson of the president. But the essence of this is the need for people to play politics of principle. You don't need to benefit all the time. Because what if Atiku had won, let us not use the word won. If Atiku had been allocated the highest vote by INEC and he was declared the winner of the election of the 2023, Bwala would have still been serving him, defending him, and if there was any challenge from the Tinubu camp, he would have been blasting Tinubu camp. How do you play politics like that? How do you do that? It doesn't work that way. Aminu Kano of blessed memory remain on his lane. He struggled to be #1 in Nigerian politics. He couldn't, but he stayed on his lane. He stayed where he was, and his Talakawa principle is still being talked about today. That's how politics should be played. And in any case, who, as a communication person for the president, anybody who knew his history cannot believe anything that come out of Bwala's mouth. So how does even the president who do the appointment think that the people will believe anything coming out from Bwala? Because there are some things you just know that it's not work. It can't work out. It's just like Peter Obi becoming president, and then he will now make what's his name? This Reno Omokri, his spokesman, Reno Omokri, will say after all the trash, all the rubbish that Reno Omokri used to regurgitate every day against Peter Obi, then they say, oh yeah, he's change man. Who will believe anything positive that he says about Peter Obi as president? Nobody. So even those who appoint these people like Bwala, what is even Tinubu thinking about? That after all the things this man said, I think Tinubu also want to humiliate people like that. I think he takes joy in those who have said terrible things about him, walking under him. I think he enjoys it, seeing them eating their vomit. And people, they look at him and say, oh, the president is very forgiving. But he just laughing at them because he has humiliated them to the level that they have gone back to their vomit. People like Daniel Bwala, and there are so many of them who the president has rehabilitated. But I don't think he did it with the intention that he really trusts them, but he just to humiliate them in the eyes of the public. And Oseni has also exposed him once again in that morning show, so that the people will know the kind of persons that are recruited as spokesperson. Because there's nothing that come out of Bwala's mouth. If Bwala said that the economy is doing well, that Tinubu is the best thing since sliced bread, who is going to believe that? After we know what he knew about Tinubu, what he has said about him. How do you turn full cycle, 360 degrees, and change just like that, and you dismiss it as well? When you are in opposition, you oppose. When you are in government, you talk about your strength. Doesn't work that way. Kudos to Oseni, because he has shown that there are a lot of people with balls in Nigerian journalism who can really take these people down, who think that Nigerians are fools. I don't know what you think about this humiliation of Daniel Bwala. It was so intense that he had to ask for water to drink. Whatever is your position, let's hear from you. What do you think about politicians not playing politics of principle, just playing politics of anywhere beleface? Is that the right thing? How can this country develop with that kind of mentality? Whatever is your position, please say it here. Also look at it. Do you think that anything that Bwala said promoting this government, that people will believe him after all he said about this government before now? Whatever is your view, let's hear from you at the comment section. Thank you for watching this video. And if you are new to my channel, you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. Hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell. When you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, anytime I have a new video, you'll be among the first to know. God bless you. And please don't forget to like this video, because when you like it, Google will rank it high and recommend it for more people. Thank you, and God bless you and yours.